Welcome, welcome to another edition of Charles and Chat. I think we're gonna do a quick glance today on the futures and possible sales for tomorrow. Less people are joining each day. It's all right. The magic is gone. The mojo is gone. It's all good. No, sometimes those analyses really hit, like today, and I still think like doesn't matter how you put it on paper, because I usually put like a write up on Discord, and people still don't get take advantage of it. It's hard. It's hard to like it sounds easy on paper, but once you're on it, right? It's like, is there a long or short? Who's the leader? All that. I mean, all we can do is take our levels level by level. Sorry for staying quiet. Too much dead air. It's not like anybody goes back and watches this, right? Serves a good purpose. I don't go back and watch it myself, but because I analyzed it myself, right? I know what's up. It is good to write it, though. Um, man, we're coming in lower. Cal, my friend, welcome. Started to feel lonely right here. you know, um, but I missed you in the VIP. I know you probably didn't have the great time, but yeah, I feel like I'm missing something. I think I got too complacent to taking very few trades. That rule becomes very strict sometimes. Um, I just think like today trades were didn't go as planned, but if I had sized less, I would have had more mental capital to trade more, take more trades. You know, and we know that you know a lot of the perspective on the markets that I have is that most of the moves happen on the first hour and a half. So if you're not in, not right at the open, but if you're not in the first 10, 15 minutes, you're kind of out, right? You're not gonna be in again. And I mean, if you just look at any daily chart, any intraday chart on large caps, right? If you didn't have the foresight to short, I mean, if you end up joining late, you don't want to take those 10 percenters, 20, 15 percenters, reverses on you, right? But this is not a good example because it was very trendy. I think what was a good example? Something like Microsoft. Yeah, something like Microsoft. drop, rest of the day sideways. But it's good that to see when the analysis comes into fruition, right? Even though we didn't trade it, it's good whenever I point stuff out that I forget about. Win was a good sell, was a good short. Win. I like that setup. I wanted to look at setups that did this, that made a peak at the open and then drop in consolidation. So it'll drop later because we see stuff like that, like let's say what Caterpillar did, right? Something like this. I've seen it before. I've been part of those moves. You know, I've been part when I used to swing, guys. When I used to swing, when it did this, like I'll be taking profits on swings. When it takes hit levels. But whenever it did this, and just as they stay sideways, it was my sign to get out of the rest of the contracts. It was just the sign. And because this is what happens the next day. And I remember very vividly in one trade where I didn't do it, that I felt stubborn, you know, that I felt, like this drop is just because it's filling the gap, so it's look at his holding, right? If it was gonna sell off, he'll do it that day, but no. And essentially, and that was on target. I remember that trade. If I can find, look, I have memory, you know. Look at Target making that P consolidation lower. It did not sell quickly, but it's coming down. Costco had earnings, so it's gonna have something to do with it, right? But when you look at this, it was right here. This run up right here. When is this? April last year. Yeah, I was at this. This was a good consolidation. Started a swing. One, two, three. This day like this, I can go in there to show you guys, but it was exactly what Caterpillar did. Peak at the open, drop consolidation. Next day, sell. Gap lower, fill the gap, sell, sell. And then you just start a downtrend. Basically, it was like the end of the move. That's it. Head and shoulders. I did. That was a good setup right here. I did enjoy it. But that's thing of the past. This is the future. This is the now. And I know ABV didn't go, but we may wake up with a surprise, guys. We wake up with a surprise. And the key thing, like you may regret it, like Remy, if it does work out, Remy may regret, not keeping the whole position. But to me, it's like you wouldn't be comfortable, taking the swing on a normal position. You just have to size down. There's a point where you can take something to zero, but not everything. You don't know. I consider ourselves, even though the setup was something different, right? The peak to sell, consolidation lower. It was to, since we had price action below it, I was like, okay, this is probably gonna sell right here. And no. But this news right here may help us out. We'll see. Who knows? Who knows on this trade? If this goes back up on pre-market, we don't know that, right? So far, futures are looking red, so we're just gonna look at this real quick. The Since we only have VIP members right now, and well, except Cal, but he's a VIP by heart. One of the in the DD, I posted that we analyzed this, that the run up from the on the market was basically from this low to this high right here, and that gives us a good perspective. Where could the market turn around? We had the first bounce right here, and we usually have some kind of interaction on this type of levels, at least once. So if you're coming in short right here, it's a good level to take profits. You're of course, like if the target is this somewhere down here, you might want to get some position that you just hold, right? But you never know. You still gotta take those profits. That's why futures require a lot of exiting, re-entering. Because if you just hold and pray, I mean, might get the whole move, right? It depends. It depends on what your objective is, honestly. Because if you have like a larger account where you can take profits along the way and then swing some, then be my guess, right? But since we know the perspective, you guys know how I trade, right? Something like this that has an impulse higher will have some retracement back down to then go higher later. If it fails the retracements, then we can call it bearish. But we still can make money to the downside, even though the edge is to the upside. On larger time frames like this, you still want to be trying for shorts during those days, right? And I think looking at the like for example the sectors today that we see, healthcare green and energy green, staples green, utilities green, those are all defensive sectors. All this is like the the four, fantastic four of defensives, you know. um it doesn't get any more defensive than that, honestly. you know Everything else is bigger risk. And bonds are up, gold is up. Gold was up in the session. So everything's a lot of a duck and cover, on the market. And even though like it may seem like, oh, we're going lower, it doesn't change. Like having a down day where some things are green, some things are red, it just means that the market is still holding up. It's taking a breather. It's doing a retracement. But we may see a little more downward, on tech, because those are the ones that lead the market. Then we get to still see green in some other sectors, and then boom, the market can rally upward. Um, so we'll see. My analysis says that it will be the best, you know, to drop into somewhere like this for next week, to just go, ooh, after that, after dropping into a year, to go. Um, that would be my best guess. That would be my. I would love if we are short and we actually go for like the daily 20. Even better. It's still within the golden zone, not an exact tag, but you can even drop to the 6-1 and still be good. So all in all, I think this weekly candle is very small, and I just want to show you guys something right here. And weekly candles don't tend to be that the small. Look at this. This is what the smallest you can see on the chart right here on what's in front of us. How size is this relative to this? Wow, almost double. So there's one more trading day and the market can do a ton of move. A ton of moves. So we gotta be kind of ready for that. Hopefully the market doesn't do a trick because it's heading lower right now. It's still inside private range, but if it does the trick where it opens on a gap down, that's gonna suck. I don't know what kind of economic data we have for tomorrow. I should know, but we're just gonna play accordingly, right? Um, we have some setups on the daily, so this still the plan, even though this low held, right? So I always keep in mind those levels because if you're coming into the day, right, look at what happens. Double bottom right at the level. A little deeper low right here, right at the level, and it just doesn't go any lower. So it's good to know those levels. Good to know, especially like knowing that the market is not entirely bearish. It takes a lot of effort for the market to come down, guys. A lot of effort. It doesn't take a lot of effort for the market to go up. It takes a few sectors, something has some weight on the market, and the market will rally. It was designed to be like that. It was designed to have rotations. The ways, balance and everything. Any questions regardless about this? Basically, if we take out this low, we're gonna aim for this right here. And I will be very hesitant to keep shorting past this level. But I mean, well, I'll see what's up, right? But this area right here, which is between 4074, 4076, that'll be like my there's some levels in between, obviously, like this levels right here. You see this right here as well, but main will be that, right? That's if we break this low right here. What the bulls have right there on their favor is like anything that was from this rally upward right here is viable, right? So you try to bounce right here at the 50%. Now it's below it. This is probably gonna head towards the 618. You may get a bounce right here. If that's the low of the overnight session, we might consider that very bullish. We might consider that the market may not even drop below this low. May start taking higher from here, right? Um, for that bullish scenario where because if the market only has what I think about retracements, right? A move that has upward like this, if it only retraces to the 38.2, it has more strength to go higher than retracing at the 50 or retracing at the 618. The deeper you go, the less likely chance is that the next push higher is gonna be something significant. That you're gonna break new highs and whatnot. So Vic used to say it's gonna dump. Yeah, possibly right. So the going back to the daily, like I said, we'll be looking for that 50% retracement. That'll be the best. That'll be the best. Look at that. You don't usually get this kind of setup. That is very. If this drops, it's gonna be very clean, very very clean. I mean, I will have to buy with both hands, guys, both hands. But in the meantime, I'm short into the level, as much as I can get. Um, I don't have anything on NQ. I think this is my best chart right here. Like I said, it looks so clear, man. I'm listening to some piano music right now and just perfect. This will be perfect. Tag this breakout highs, 50% retracement, 20 MA, boom, to the skies. So keep it in mind, guys. Keep it in mind. Moving on, because I keep looking at this chart and I'm gonna end up falling in love. I need to find out what kind of music I can put in the YouTube videos, or even right here. It would be cool to share on stream. So we see a little more weakness on NQ. We're gonna use the same perspective, same idea. 618 lines up with this candle closes. This one right here, the 50% with this high. So I think there's a better, clear picture on ES, but obviously whatever the technology goes is where so I think some idea, if we drop into a 50% on ES, watch out that this one may be at the 618 at the same time. If that's the case, then you have confluence. You're hitting key levels on both. You're very close to the daily 20, and then boom, to the moon again for a new high. If the market's gonna keep pulling on, right, it needs buyers to step in. So that's the idea. Let's look at the intraday bounce that it did to see if this is holding anything. No sir, no sir. Look at this. It tried. You see that? It tried. But no. Once you're below it this much, you're most likely gonna visit this low. So this overnight we might see that low right here. So that's what the Qs are telling us, and we might follow the money, right? Any questions about ES or NQ? No. You missed the chart, Edward Kim. Which chart? You can always go back to the video and see the levels. To pause it, see the levels, but you get the idea. Now, we have some setups. We're gonna play them tomorrow. Thinking about, I'm gonna go a little bit crazy tomorrow and take more positions than usual. There's big opportunity out there, so Energy. I'm watching a little bit of the sector of energy. You know, close very bullish. We have what we call a hot dog, two buns. The hot dog, we gotta see if it spills the green mayo or the red ketchup. It's a setup we have between some friends. But basically, it's a 2 down, 2 up start reversal, breaking this high, puts this high in place. And very bullish that it's not filling the gap, right? It's going back up again. You would have think that after this candle right here, this was probably going to go fill the gap. We actually had some triggers to short some energy names for that gap fill, but it just did not happen for us. I'm glad we didn't pull the trigger fast, but yeah. Part of the XLE, I have two names that I like the most. Two names. I'm gonna give it off to you guys because I feel very, very generous tonight. Nah, it's just some setups, we'll see what happens. Hopefully they work out. Hopefully we make money together. We just go and dance our precious positions on Lotto. Tomorrow's Thursday, but it's Lotto Thursday, right? We don't have markets close on Friday, so remember, contracts go to zero at the end of the day if they're not in the money. What do we have right here? It's this is the supply area, guys. So if you notice, there was a bit of consolidation, then drop. Is back on it. So it is not rejecting immediately. That's a good thing, right? Once you hit a supply area, a lot of times, the buyers away right here, they want to get out at a break even, It's like, oh shit, I'm back here at break even. Let me get out. So right now, not seeing an immediate rejection may indicate that this is going to push higher. You notice the 50 MA is being held down at the lows. And guess what? One of my favorites, the one and only. It's a double inside candle. Inside candle onto this range. Inside candle into this range. Getting smaller. This is a spring, guys. This is a spring. Held up. And once it releases, boom. So, Remy is showing us a tip that if you find that there's low quality on Discord, I don't know for what reason because I paid Nitro, but there's a better quality on YouTube, guys, to watch the numbers and everything. If you don't get to see those numbers right here. So how do we play inside candles? Just take the break of the extremes, right? And this one's already on a closing very near the highs. So you just put an alert at the highs, put an alert at the lows, and play the chart. Where does that take us? Where can a breakout of this high go? So it's most likely gonna go into this high right here. There's some money to be made from here. It'll be lame if it stops right there, but you have to consider that this peak right here is the same one. It's very close to this bottoms right here. So this deserves to be a color different than red. Something that you identify as a big level, right? Something yellow, guys. Or that's what I use. Just whatever you want. It's your deal, not mine. Next up, how can we define higher levels right here? Let's go down to the weekly to see if we can find something, right? We know that this one's a big important level. And if you go down to the weekly, you're going to see some confluence right here. So we're going to draw another level right here. And that's it. Obviously, you can go for more levels. This actually will be one of the main levels right here. Another one that deserves to be this right here. But, let's be realistic, right? How far can we run this candle, right? It's not going to go to the moon, one daily candle. 100,000 floor like GME, right? It's just not going to do that. We are realistic traders.
but we realize it's a spring. It may release the low and have a nice green candle, you know. If it doesn't stop right here, then we might have a nice green candle up to here, you know, something like that. If it opens about the highs, you know, opening about the highs, super important, and not dropping below it, super important, you know. You have to think that the range of the candle does not change. Let's say it's a big candle that's a breakout. We're gonna take this size for example right here. Opening about the highs, what do you see? We hit those targets, right? Opening right here, what do we see? We don't hit the targets. Opening below, you know, and then going up, we're gonna end up an outside candle that hits the target right here, the first one, right? So it's not ideal, right? Because you know, might as well it could open right here, then drop and go. You know, it's drop opening up at the highs and not going below it. It's a very good sign. So put it on your list, guys. Um, you know, double inside candle, guys. It's a spring, right? That's what it does. Consolidation. Remember, right? It's consolidation, then boom. So I like this one. Another one that I like of energy is DBN. You know, you guys know that we trade a ton of DBN, and why do I like it? You know, look at this candle closing about this other candle's high. So like, this name actually managed to close prior to the candle's high. So it's already a two down, two up strat reversal right here. There's some immediate resistances, which is like the daily 50. This candle managed to go above it. So I will take the daily 50 as some kind of resistance. I will use this candle high right here. This consolidation on the top right here. I will even put some kind of a color right here, if you wish. And then this peak right here that rejected the daily 20, you know. Considering that we're realistic traders and we know well, let's say we do have a very green day, you know, an average green day on DBN is something like this, you know, holding about the prior day's highs, you know, could put us a target right here, 55.22. So if you find, you know, tomorrow that zero DT is expiration, you're looking to trade some zero DTs and you have the 54 calls out of the money, super cheap, you know. Where are we right now? 53, 51, you know. You find something like the 54 calls that are right here. You end up having a good candle that goes into 55.20s. You'll put those 54s in the money. But it requires certain steps, right? It requires opening above the prior day highs, holding above the prior day highs, and launching. And if it does it early in the session, super good, guys. Super good. You know, super good. That's what GODTs are made for, you know. That's just how you find beta. This is how you find high beta. Next up, what do we have? I have Baba. If Baba doesn't do a overnight shenanigans, we have a beautiful inside candle. I favor the downside, but I'll take any side that it gives me, right? We have an inside candle. It's a single one. It's not a double like ConocoPhillips. But it gives a great opportunity because if you notice, it's still below when you take a retracement, you know, from the last push higher right here, you still haven't touched the 32 neither the 50. You're still above the EMA. So if we end up dropping below the lows, you can still consider a short into one of those levels, right? And you know, I mean, to me, like a lot of the Chinese markets are huge pump and dumps, right? A huge pump and pump and dump. So there might be an opportunity right there. Uh, if it does it early on the session, you know what you have in mind, for your targets. Let's say that this one can go all the way to at least 95.62, So you would like to put the 96 puts in the money, something very cheap, or the 97 puts to go in the money, boom, you know. So very good setup, I believe. And I have my alerts. It breaks one extreme or the other. I'm gonna take it, baby. Because even if it takes out the high, if it opens at the highs, this is a bull flag break. With a very shallow retracement, this thing is gonna go right. And then you gotta look for something like the 102 calls, you know, that are very cheap that you want to put in the money. Hypothetical scenarios that we have. Hypothetical. So, next up. Next up. What do I have for you guys? I think those were my favorite setups. I have more, but they're not really worth taking a look at it, man. We have another double inside candle over here, but I don't like the options on DPZ. It's actually getting very, very tight right here. DPZ, which is Domino's Pizza, has a double inside candle right here. I don't like the options. If when it moves, when it has a large candle, it'll be a lot of points, but I just don't like the options on it, guys. I don't like the options on it. Let's say that it breaks the low, sends it to a daily 20, which is like 323 or something. Maybe getting the 325 puts or the 322.5 puts. No, I don't like the options on it, but there's a setup right there. If you wish to trade it tomorrow, if you wish to take it, you know that the fib retracements are coming in from this low into this high from the last push higher. So if you break that low right here, you could head into like the daily 20-50% retracement. It's like 323 or so. Some good gains if it happens. Some good gains. It's rejecting a very nuanced level right here. This level right here is very, very important. You know what this level is actually? I didn't put it because of the chart. I remember now because this is an old level. Whenever DPZ people were asking me, how are we gonna fill the gap or no? Like I was telling people, you can, if you scout the higher low, which it was this, you can give calls or some spreads to head towards the gap fill, but you always, and I'm gonna measure, you always want to place a level between at the 50% of the gap, which is this is the start, this is the end, 50% or so of the gap. And I think I was going for this high gap right here or something, it lines up somewhere. I'm just gonna fit it to my narrative, but it was some line right here. Well, that's what I think I put it. Any questions about the setups that I posted? How do you play them? What do we look for? Or anything like that? Because guess what? Guess what, guys? Now is your turn to give me setups. Give me something good. Something that you've seen that you think is going to go up or down by a large, significant amount that we can do some ZODT trades on for tomorrow. I like to see some creativity out there, guys. Let me load up TOS. Thank you, Cal, for being proactive. By the way, this RCL may have continuation lower. Watch it as well. We missed the downside today. I was looking to short RCL today, but is that the end of it? I don't think so, because if you made a leg down, you're coming into a 32 retracement only, not even the 50. So it means that it's as bearish as it gets, and you look at this retracement higher. This is the last place for the bulls. So breaking that low will place this low in play, We'll bring that low, and I will be looking at this low, so in case it makes like some kind of inverse head and shoulders or something. But so I'll be looking to some possible shorts in RCL in the future. Setting up a little alert right there. Jerry, you're so late. You are so late. I'm just kidding. I know. I'm sorry. You're a mom. You're probably tired. I explained everything. I brought my magic ball and I gave you everything that's gonna happen the next couple sessions. You missed it. I'm sorry. How we look at Nvidia? Let's see. Let's do it real quick. Nvidia, the unshortable stock, which it would have paid if you swing puts right here, obviously, but not anymore. Apparently, there's a gap to fill. Breaking this high, I will probably aim for this gap to fill. Shorting it, it's tough because you know what this is, right? Daily 20, daily 20. Very close to the daily 20. Sometimes only doesn't even drop to the daily 20. This is the unshortable stock. Very shallow pullbacks. It's never going to come down. It is only goes up. But no, not really. I mean, someday it's going to just flip around, right? You'll have a very good leg down. It's very hard to just time it. But what do we see right here? We have a gap above us. Breaking this high, I will actually aim for the gap fill, which I made you, I believe, already on gap fills, I think. But yeah, that'll be a good setup. If it goes higher, that'll be great as well. This could be a good level, 275. And as for the downside, you're gonna hit those this breakout level. This is why, like, that Nvidia is even holding that breakout level. This one right here, which is right here, which it broke, rejected, pulled back, broke, went a little further, pulled back, retest this breakout, could go higher, right? So a little tough for shorts. I don't know. People lose money shorting Nvidia, including myself. Was it on last Friday that I wanted to short Nvidia? Done me. You had this kind of double top opening around the lows. I thought those lows were gonna go, and I was looking for something into a daily 20. Did not happen, sir. So yeah, better shorts out there and some other names. Any other suggestion? And if you guys bring suggestions, I will like it'll be very cool if you tell me what you look for on your suggestion. If you have an idea what you're looking at, give me an essence if you want to go short, long. If you have a position already in there and you're in pain, if you're enjoying a green position and you want to know where to take profits, let me know. Give me details. The devil's in the details. Calv is saying short Walmart. You were short bias based on the 2-day. Oof. No, I mean, if anything, this could be trading range, right? Could go higher and then drop, go higher and then just trade sideways until we meet the EMAs, Calv is saying Walmart short. Let's look at Walmart short. Ooh, Calv, you gotta get rid of that mentality, my friend, that because something goes up, now you want to take that counter trend, That's no bueno. That's no bueno because that's a very bullish candle right there. I'll tell you what, though. It may come down if it didn't already on pre-market because Costco earnings were somewhat negative, I believe. So there's no short setup for me, honestly, Cal. There's you can see this level right here. This could be a rejection. Look at this candle, top. It could be a rejection. You could have a day that it just tops right here tomorrow, and then boom, that's when you start shorting. I wouldn't short any other place if that was my goal to short Walmart than 150.19, 115.20. It's a range. Is that levels are not to be exact. And other than that, I don't see a other possible level. I have more levels, but obviously, high probable setups where you can get some good points are where you see a lot of this type of action, on one of the levels. It deserves to be yellow in my eyes. Cool. Cool. Now, I know it's coming into resistance, but notice it's coming in from a higher low. It means that the strength that he used to make this push, he took a breather, and he's making another push. So, um, whenever I will agree to actually short that level with both hands if Walmart had done this, had touched this level without any sort of pullback, because you could at least tell that it's gonna have a first rejection. It's tired, it used a lot of strength, a lot of force to go to the upside. It wants to take a rest, and it'll do it at that level. But it didn't do it like that. It actually came from a higher low. So watch out, my friend. Watch out for that short. Says it says Dad says on YouTube, he's looking to short Target short. I may like it. I love Target. I love going to Target. They have a ton of cool stuff, right? But I like to trade it as well. Whenever you catch one of those green candles or one of those red candles, oh baby, that's a lot of points on Target. Options are very good on it. So you're looking to short Target. Perspective. This was the last push higher. It's still below retracements. It's still below the daily 20 EMA and everything. Could be a candidate. I think after you're coming down on a downtrend and you're rejecting and you place a higher low, basically this one right here, you might want to change your perspective to look for long entries, right? With basically you're back above the weekly 20. It's the edge on Target is probably to the upside. Now, Costco had earnings, and it may affect the price. Let's see, after hours, it dropped some, actually. Look at that. Way below these lows, right? So, just watch out. It's going to have a lot of levels that it can just go back on, Like I said, from year to year. If it opens right here, then what? You're going to short into this, you gotta have a plan right there. So watch out on that one. Devil's Hunter is saying, I have Lulu puts, seeing if we get some sort of retracement into the giant gap. Oh man, Lulu. Oh man, no. Those gaps, you just let them be gaps, huh? There might be, it's overbought. Oh no, you're not gonna. In my honest opinion, anything can happen, but I don't think you're gonna get anything significant. Maybe it drops into this low. Or maybe remember, use your flip perspectives. He had a push higher right here. Push higher. It's super good to always use your flip perspectives, because Lulu can just bounce right here. To me, that's really not a setup. This giant gap, is probably gonna stay as a giant gap for a long periods of time. When it's coming up from earnings, look at this. It had a gap on earnings to the downside, and you'll be thinking, "Oh, I want to long it." Just try to think positive. I mean, positive, opposite of what you just seen right here. I want to long it because of this huge gap. No sir. This gap is left untouched. He didn't even fill it right here. It just went straight up for the gap fill, I guess, partially gap fill. So same situation can happen right here, where just hang around and you don't never see this fill. So it just gaps don't work like that. You gotta see a gap that is not that large is coming in from not from like some big earnings or something like that. You see something like this, no earnings, huge capitulation low with a huge volume, goes and fills the gap to the penny, and then drops again, right? So different situation is not that big of a gap, and different situation. I hope that makes sense. Ulta finally dropped today. Finally had a big red candle. Wow. The stock is unstoppable. Jerry, you gotta stop buying the Ulta makeup. And those Lulu pants, you're making them rich. I'm gonna stop buying my Marlboros so PM doesn't go up anymore. Let me see. How's PM? Actually, ooh, that's a very bullish setup, guys. And this is part of the staples, That's why Walmart is not a very good looking short right now, because a lot of staples are going higher. Cal is saying, what's my opinion on Netflix? Let's look at Netflix real quick. You love Netflix, Cal. You love to Netflix and chill. You're always looking at Netflix. This was a very bullish bounce. Look at this. That's why I gotta keep those levels, because this broke out of this level. You know that this was a rejection. It's coming from it, and it has a breakout. Boom, boom, boom. What does it do next? It tests to the other side as a support. Was it bounce very immediate? Double bottom right here, very nuanced levels. So I will probably, after seeing this, I will probably look for upside. You miss the entry, my friend. You miss the entry. Gotta be charting, gotta be very proactive. But I mean, if it's gonna bounce right there, is to have continuation higher. This is a 2 up to set a 2. I mean, a 2 down. If to set a 2 up, you have to break this high. I believe it might have another down day. Who knows? My analysis on ES is that it's preferable to drop into a 50% retracement, right? So so I don't know. I mean, Netflix can do its thing, by itself. Can do whatever it wants. But it just doesn't go with the narrative of the whole market, right? If it makes sense. We're on the same page, Cal? That's good. Any other suggestions before we close shop? I'll take a last one. OHNIJ, our friend right here in Discord. If you would like to share us your thoughts or a setup or something, you're good? All right, appreciate it. There's more setups out there, guys. I think that's why I share what I like the most. For the people that are in the VIP, because we got some people right here, we're holding ABBV puts. Sadly, they're down. Let me check. They're down 80%. But I mean, it could have a new, very good, what you're gonna call it, surprise tomorrow. It's hard to know what they could sell for, but I think yeah, I think we can sell them for at least $1.50 or so if it opens at the money. We'll see. We'll see, guys. So I'm gonna close it right here, and appreciate you all. It was a good analysis. I appreciate you all coming. Felt a little lonely at the beginning, not gonna lie. But I appreciate you all. On to the next one. Tomorrow is a lot of Thursdays, so size accordingly. Have a good rest of your nights. And Cubito is out.